Monday, September 11th, 7:30. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Of your attendance, disclosure, conflict of interest. If you have any questions or anything comes up, we can declare it at that time. Number 4, approval of August 14th minutes.
I move we approve as circulated.
Seconder.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any delegations?
No.
Okay, 6A, unfinished business. 6 is unfinished business. A, healthcare update.
Yeah, just following up on this council's where the meeting we had with the Horizon CEO, where they expressed interest in working with the community to develop the collaborative health care center in the community. We're still working with the Horizon on that. Mayor McLaughlin and I were down toward the Lawrenceville Health Clinic a couple weeks ago. We're working with Horizon to clarify, they've come up with a roles table of who's responsible for what aspects of recruiting, whether it be Horizon or the municipalities. We're just clarifying that document with Horizon. There's another meeting scheduled for September 19th with Horizon, and as council members, there's I think 18 action items from the previous meeting. So hopefully we'll have a lot of that work progress by the time we meet on the 19th. And then also the meetings with the Victoria Glen Manor, they've got a lot of exciting projects on. They've got a pending announcement coming, I believe, for some type of out care services where people could bring residents in for services to be provided by the manor and on a need basis, so to speak, either for the morning or the afternoon or different periods of time. So lots of exciting things going on there, hopefully, and for the manor. So like I said, the next meeting is the working groups on the 19th. I don't know if I missed anything.
Have they applied for one of the nursing home without walls?
Yes.
They have, okay, good. Because that was in our human health meeting, they were talking about that, so.
I believe that's the pending announcement.
Yeah. Okay.
B, October election.
Yeah, well, these are all the key dates. Nominations begin, and if it goes by public interest, I think Dipno would be the leader right now, since she's the only one, and Stephanie. Yes, the nominations begin September 18th. They close the 29th. And if somebody has second thoughts, they can withdraw on the Monday after that on October 2nd. Advance polls the 14th, and election day the 23rd.
And the office is gonna be at the Altamar again, the returning office. I just found that out today.
Are we gonna do the same thing that we do for regular elections?
Yeah, we've been promoting it on our newsletter and things.
So we're gonna have each of the
People,
possible candidates put their picture and their update on the
Yeah,
website.
once
They just
people
sent it
go
to
down,
Justine, yeah.
Yeah, or Bethany, yeah.
Or that.
This would be through the end of this period for.
Yes.
So those are the dates.
Alrighty, circular material recycling, C.
Yeah, still working along through that process. In our end, we're sort of finalizing our collection numbers. You get the municipality will get paid so much per pickup per unit for each home that we provide the service to. So we're just trying to finalize that number to get through. So Jamie's been going through when she gets a chance over the last 2 weeks, sort of clarifying the addresses that were given to us by the RC or whoever developed them weren't quite accurate. We found a lot of properties were missing and things, so we're trying to make sure that if there's services we're providing, we want to make sure that we're getting paid for it. So we're going to make sure that and how that'll work is circular materials will pay the municipality for the recycling pickup. Now versus prior to November 1st, it was the municipalities had to incur the cost. So instead of us having to incur the cost for the collection, they will send us a payment for it. So But there's concerns around the program about education and contamination levels, and currently the current recycling program that the RSC has, it wasn't set up to monitor waste in the collection. Which council, I will give our previous council's credit, they argued that pretty hard about how can you have a recycling program that doesn't measure contamination. But we found out now the contamination rate's 3 to 4 times typically what it should be of what circular materials is going to have. So some of our residents and other residents in the region are going to have a learning curve of what can go in and what can't go in and do the recycling. So we're going to do our best to work with all our residents and businesses to educate people on what can go in and what can't go in and things like that. So, and those are sort of the dates. So for us, we'll start getting reimbursed November 1st. And again, council hasn't made the final decision on the show. We haven't got the final document yet. And then the other communities, they have to continue, the ones that opted out, they have to wait till May 1st before circular materials will actually take over the collection. So they'll have to pay for the recycling for the next 6 months. So there is a benefit for communities that want to get in early. And of course, I believe all the communities that have their own garbage collection capabilities have all opted in, from what my understanding is. But
D, housing structure.
yeah, it's just that there's, I mentioned there's an application out now, the province has, or to support housing initiatives, in conjunction with federal government, due to the, I guess, untimeliness over the summer, and communities not having their stuff in a line, they've extended that to September 28th. And it's sort of there's a scoring system attached to it based on what you're planning on doing in your community. So I believe, in talking with Justine, that there's a potential for us to get 500 to 750,000 for anything from extending services to planning, signage, all those kind of different things. So we'll certainly have our application in on the 28th and take advantage of the funding, because housing certainly is a growing demand in the community. We do have a lot of interest from developers wanting to do projects.
E, municipality week.
Yeah, and it's the municipality week, and we're trying to tie, the girls come up with an idea where they would like to tie in or thank all of our volunteers in the community, in the municipality, to invite them to come to a barbecue with council. And what they're talking about doing is having some music, a free barbecue, having a kids zone with some inflatable toys there for the kids, and if any counselors that are around and would like to barbecue, that would be awesome. So I think that's what we did last year, the counselors barbecue.
It is September 20th.
Wednesday,
September.
next, a week from this Wednesday.
Yeah.
So really,
And that's at the bandstand?
That's the thing,
Or where is it?
Yes, bandstand.
Okay. That was well attended last year.
Yeah.
What we did.
Yeah, and we think too, by tying it into inviting the volunteers and recognizing their efforts in the community too, might be a good way to attract people out, because the volunteers are really what makes the community, that's for sure.
Correspondence.
Yeah, and this is the one on the provincial highway plan. We had this letter last month to look at. The submission that we did last year was or last several years has been the retaining wall and the ramp at 105, 109 across the river here. So as everyone knows, the retaining wall's got a bit of a lean to it over there, to say the least. Fortunately, that project has been approved as part of the DTI 2026 capital plan outside of this provincial municipal highway plan. I'm not quite sure what the exact amount is in this fund, but a few years ago, I remember it was like $9 million for the whole province. So there's not a lot of money in this provincial municipal highway plan. Even if it was double, you get cities asking for $3 million of it for part of their major projects and things. So it's very competitive to get funding under this. So what we talked about part 2 was the street improvements on East Riverside Drive, and also sections now on West Riverside Drive, basically, I believe from Kendall's north. To take a look at that and ask them to do a review of the road. I think Councillor Shaw suggested that we, some engineering done on the road to see if there's any sinkholes or water issues or things like that.
Just in your experience, though, we don't get a lot of these approved, even though we put them down, right?
Yeah, like I said, if there's 100 municipalities in New Brunswick and we all give five priorities, there's 500 options and probably 30 of these tie up the whole budget, so it's normally a letter that you normally just have to change the date on every year typically, but.
Although one of ours has been on there forever, is getting approved, well, it's in the stages.
Yeah, actually, ironically, when I did look back at that, the capital plan, the improvements to the intersection over there. First showed up on those plans in 1999,
Mhm.
so it's been a bit of a run, but it's good to see it. Good to see it make it to the top.
Another couple of years and we'll have it.
Yeah, so I'll add those and update the letter and send it to council's in agreement.
8 reports. I think we start with me. We'll go there.
Municipal.
We'll do that one, yes, right. Sure.
Yeah, these are included in your kit there, the different stats and things. Building permits for the year are up. We've only issued, I believe, 2 building permits outside the former municipality. We haven't had a lot of uptake in the LSD areas yet. I don't know if people just aren't building or haven't picked up permits. Recycling, curbside recycling this year is down, so again, we like to encourage people to recycle whatever we can. It's down 20% year to date, our tonnage. And
Are the blue bins getting more, big bins?
the large one it's down 0.6%. The bin at the school, so it's basically flat
Okay.
year over year. Yeah. And
Just, do you have more you want?
Oh, yeah.
I guess the one that is quite concerning, Gun said, is the tourist summer visits. Are we calculating the statistics differently this year?
Yeah, that's what I've got to find out. I noticed that too. We had a change in staff up there, so I don't know what's actually getting counted. Yeah. Although the watercraft rentals is probably more of an accurate number. I think even though this year it was terrible weather and rain all the time, I think, so
Yeah.
we know we'd be down some, but the watercraft rentals were down about 38%. So that's probably more indicative for the actual usage, I would think.
Fire department report.
Oh, sorry, I've got a couple more things in here for the, this one is more the day-to-day operation stuff that we've been doing. Street patching, we did the water line repair on Perth Hill, and then we're back to do another one on Perth Hill last week. The roadside brush mitigation, cleaning up the ditches underneath some of the power lines.
Can I just ask on that one, what machine did we use to do that?
It's a contractor, he had 3 different machines.
Right.
Yeah.
It must have been like some sort of rotary.
Yeah, he had 2 different types of bush hogs, and they had a wheel loader with a mulching head. Yeah,
They did have to repair the right next to saying.
it could be. I don't. I believe it might be the same contractor. He was doing work for DTI in the area. That's how we ended up getting him.
So that would be ditches and in front of the power poles, correct?
Yeah, like we had them, like any of the ditches we were doing, if they were close to the power lines, we get them to do under while he was there. And of course, whenever we do work under the power lines, we cost share that. Work with Alliant, they pay a portion of the cost, so we bill them, I think it's 47 or 43% of the cost for work under the power line, so. Yeah. And I think the total cost of that was somewhere in the 15 or 17,000 range, I believe, yeah. And they did along the trails back there, and Todd, if you're driving home tonight, you can tell me how good a job they did widening it out.
It looks so yucky when they first do it, cause it's just like.
Yeah.
But it'll,
It'll grow back.
Yeah.
I got over my
Yeah,
sentiment
I know,
when it was first
I know.
done.
yeah, but first of all,
I'm gonna ask the question, so it was, you said 15,000 to do that? So you don't think maybe we should be looking at a piece of equipment that we can do our own?
Well, we have a mulching head now for the loader, but one of the issues we have is staff time getting people to do it. And the one good thing about this contractor, he had different types of equipment. He had a bush hog that would lean over the side, and then the mulching head, like with the wheel loader with the extended, so one piece of equipment doesn't do the whole thing for us, and it's back to staff time too, but yeah, I'm certainly pro if it makes sense us buying equipment and doing it ourselves, but again, it's back to staff time and availability and planning, laying out work and getting it done too. We only had the mulching head on our equipment, I think 2 days this year. I believe the mulching head we do have, so.
And it's not the greatest. I don't think.
Well, a lot of it's maybe the same thing as this, a lot of it's operator. Right?
Yeah, they don't do that every day for a living, so
Yeah.
it takes them forever, it would take them a lot more staff time
And different
to
operators.
do what,
Yeah.
even if they had what he has.
Right on.
Yeah,
But our guys do a good job and things, but yeah. Okay, and then the TIC Center closes the 22nd. We can second at the provincial swim meet. Trail improvements, Rustic Pine repair prep, ditch line, power cleaning, the dam run coming up. This year's the dam run, it's the provincial championship race. So we're having a chip timing for that, which the good thing about the chip timing, it's basically like literally a chip they put on their sneakers. So when the race starts, it records your time, and when you come in, the whole day, your splits per kilometer and the whole 9 yards, but it makes it easier for the volunteers at the end because computer prints off where everybody finished. We had a few mistakes, I think last year we had a guy won the females race, and the female won the guys race or something, or just,
I was away and
there's a couple of things.
I have invited a friend, a lady who lives here, her son is a level 5 with computer chip timing and that with Athletics Canada. And he's volunteered to come and work with us that day.
Okay, cool.
it was interesting last year on the rec commission, it's on a cycle with all the runners, so I mean, we bring a lot of people from outside of town in on this. And,
But this is the provincial, this is the final one, so
Yeah,
they'll be doing their awards for the whole year at this one.
that'll be great.
And we're working on to finish up the improvement or the planning for the improvements to Rustic Well, the UV upgrade there, paving the Bass Tournament path, electric line upgrades, and of course, it's that time of year where we're starting to work on Christmas in the village stuff, of course. And then on the strategic plan stuff for council, as council members, we have the 6 key areas: green initiatives, economic development, healthcare, public safety. We've added this to the regular council meetings. We can sort of just do a review of what we've been working on between meetings, just to make sure that the strategic plan stuff doesn't get lost. Just keep track of it. So the green incentive programs we've been offering and promoting on our social media. The solar project that we're working on, the developers we've been talking to about different housing projects, looking for funding for the strategic plan, assisted the manor. Ignite is planning a meeting to meet with the businesses regarding economic development in the community. Of course, the healthcare stuff we talked about earlier, the public safety, the unsightly premise demo. I had a few positive comments about the building in Perth that was taken down. We've done another inspection with the building inspector of another property in Perth I was hoping to have the written report back, but I still haven't gotten it yet about a building in Lower Perth that we're trying to address. The camera program that we're talking about for public safety, increase the number of location, and it'd be great at some point that we've got to develop a policy from council about how we're going to handle that information, who has access to it. Do we send it to Crime Stoppers? Do we keep it all internal? Like if a property owner comes in, do we give them access to it? Or, how are we gonna, now that we've got all this wealth of knowledge, how are we gonna handle it? And then from later on the agenda, the municipal service was one of the key issues. Bylaw enforcement improvement was one of the strategic priorities council had from the planning session. So we're taking steps in that direction. And there's, I believe, an upcoming meeting with the RCMP scheduled. The tourism eclipse meeting, Justine's been meeting with that group. And then capital asset management, mitigation project, the Rustic system review, then all the various capital projects, and we've got to redo our gas tax, program. We talked about this at the last meeting. We need to, I guess, re-amend it, so to speak, where we're putting the Rustic and the Perth ones in together as one plan. The province has requested that, so that's the basic gist of that stuff. So the day-to-day operation stuff and the strategic plan stuff. Yeah, the fire calls for the fire department, you can see the current month 18, year to date 109, basically same numbers last year. So don't seem to be up. The grass fires are about the same, but the structure fires, motor vehicle is down considerably compared to last year.
What's the difference with the motor vehicle? Are they reporting differently or calling
I don't know.
different threshold of calling them out? Because used to be every time they do, when they just get there and they turn around and come back because they weren't needed.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that's still the majority of those. Like, I'm assuming out of those 26 calls that we might have done stuff at 5 or 6 of them, I'm guessing. Yep, so other than that,
Council reports. Okay, so myself, August 15th, is tea time in Aroostook. The 19th, I was at this Scotch Colony, 150th anniversary. And then we had a public safety meeting on August 22nd. I also viewed the clinic, the 20th and Torresville, the new clinic down there on August 22nd. September 2nd, I went to the block party at the church. It was pretty wonderful up there. And then September 9th, I went to the little carnival, took my grandson up here to one of the Baptist church. So very, very nice for the children in the area. And that's actually all I've done this month. Slow month for me.
Well, I was on vacation for 2 weeks, but I did make it to the Scotch Colony as well.
And nothing you report.
He was at the block party.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I gotta make sure I was away. That was a big one.
Yeah, definitely not a.
Pretty good. I did scoot up to the tea time in Aroostook, which was great. Jean Armstrong from CBC was there. It was really nice to meet her, and she was really interested in our communities, because that's what she was doing, was trying to gather information for stories. So, and the ladies there are so nice and welcoming, and they're happy to be part of the village of Southern Victoria. And I thought that was great. We did have a water and or utilities committee meeting with Wes's policy that she brought. And so that was interesting to go over that. And other than that, that would be it.
I guess I'm sorry, I forgot to report that.
Yeah, so.
I had the swim, I couldn't get to the Scotch Colony because I was at the swim meet all day. I arrived there at 7:30 and was there till about 3:30 because I was compiling all the results on the computer and getting them out there so they could tell who was the winners and everything. So I do that each time. On the 30th of August, I attended the Union of Municipalities New Brunswick, UMNB Health Committee, because I'm on their health committee, and we have a good collection of people on that. So we're looking at health services across the province, but especially considering rural health. So the idea is that we're all working together on that one. I attended a get together, met with a bunch of the retired teachers on the first day of school because they all had a breakfast at the Elks. Kids Carnival, I worked at that. And coming up, actually next week on the 19th, they're having their Forever Young Friendship Games held at the Legion on the 19th, and I'll be working one of the games there. The library meeting is coming up tomorrow night. The dam run, I'm looking after the finish line because they didn't like me not being there last year. So I'll be around for that and I've got some friends coming in to help out with that. And then I did some work did some interviews with the staff at Future Footprints for them, so that they could kind of see how they did it last year for them in about this time of year to help them see what things the staff thought could be improved and what things did need to be improved and so.
Sure, so the retired teachers. go to
Yeah.
Lunch, first day of school. or to
They had
breakfast?
breakfast,
Oh, really?
yeah, Ron Gunn served breakfast to them, so
Oh.
they could celebrate.
Every year, they're not going back.
Wave the buses going by.
That's cool.
Okay. 9, bylaws. Nope. Okay, motions, motions.
Yeah, for tonight, just have three motions, the committee update, the SPCA contract and bylaw enforcement. The first one is motion 21-23, committee membership update.
Move that.
Let me try to work in here. And so, moving, seconder.
Sure.
And we'll redo this after the election, right?
Yep, we will. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried.
Next one is motion 22-23, the SPCA contract. And this would, we have to provide 60-day notice to discontinue the service with the SPCA. And the thought is it will combine the animal control and bylaw enforcement together, improve the level of service, avoid duplication, and improve cost efficiencies for the community.
Move that.
Sheila? Second, Todd? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
And that's one that sort of piggyback on about 23 is bylaw enforcement. Since we're required to provide animal control, building inspection and general bylaw enforcement. Combining animal control and bylaw enforcement will improve all the service things I just mentioned. So the motion here is to appoint James Parrish, who's the former animal control officer for the municipality and the former employee of the SPCA to continue that services directly for the municipality.
Sheila?
Second.
Sheldon? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. We're on public safety, Wendy? No. You're on our readings here. Okay. I'm in the wrong one. Hello, I'm in the wrong print shop.
Yeah.
That would help.
Then it's under new business. Next thing is the Schulten's grand opening. The council and the community are invited to. We're doing a big week there, the 18th to the 23rd. With the actual ribbon cutting being held on September 20th. A lot of stuff going on the 20th and at 2 o'clock
Yes.
for the ribbon cutting.
And B, the Brewery Park opening.
Yeah, and that's on Friday, September 27th. And again, the council's warmly invited. Sorry, 22nd, sorry. Yeah, from 6 to 8 PM on a Friday evening.
Okay, so are we gonna go in camera?
Yeah.
Can I have a,
You move into camera.
we need a seconder on that?
Yeah.
Seconder, Tammy? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very little. Guess we don't have to do all that part, do we?
Thank you.
No.
There's a lot going on. I've got some